doors today up, and so they had to come back, the guy had to come back and basically give me a whole lesson about the logistics of installing storm doors and the frames and the brick mold and all of that good stuff. So I wanted to hop on and talk about Lisa Rinna and everything that's been going on and how she's like basically panicking in the blogs right now. There was actually a blind item put out recently about her, and I'll kind of give you guys some history before I jump in. Hey Groovy, how are you? Hey Jillian, hey Alan. I'm so sorry guys, I have getting new doors and they weren't put in right. The guy had to come back. I can't wait to talk housewives with you guys. I just saw a new blind item about how Lisa Rinna is allegedly panicking as we speak. She is scrambling. Her IG definitely reflects a scrambling Lisa Rinna. And then to top it all off, this is how you know she's in trouble, guys. She put out a huge thing on Instagram. Hi LA, hi, I'm so glad back too. I've been waiting to talk to you guys about this. She did this whole thing on her Instagram. Did you comment if you guys read it? Basically talking about her grief, how she's like going through it right now because Lois died when she was filming and she went right back to work a week afterwards, even though she felt terribly guilty. There was a job to be done in Beverly Hills, and honey, she was gonna be the one to do it. And she basically, you know, says she doesn't, you know, she's nervous to watch the next upcoming season, couple of episodes because, hi Lovey, hi, okay. She's scared to watch the next couple of episodes because she's grieving the death of her mother. And it's just so crazy that we're hearing about Rinna grieving the, you know, her mother, and then we have Kyle Richards, who her very dear friend from childhood lost their battle with mental illness. Number one, it's crazy that Kyle has a best friend, childhood friend, guys, that unfortunately, sadly, unalived herself. Hello, Chocolate. And this would have happened after Kyle would have filmed the whole situation with Sutton. So we saw Kyle not be super compassionate towards Sutton's circumstances around, you know, her dad killing himself. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. I think I get demonetized. Unaliving himself. And Kyle didn't have a lot of sympathy for that. And now, sadly, she's kind of going through the same thing, but not as tragic because it was a friend instead of like a parent. And then we're seeing, you know, allegedly that's why her and Kathy start to talk again, is because his childhood friend has passed away, and so it's brought in Kathy and Kyle back together again, which is another reason I think that we may or may not see Kyle come back next season. Now back to Lisa Rinna burning it down in Beverly Hills. Either they're taking her back or she's burning it down, basically. So she comes out with the article about how, you know, Kyle's the OG, but she comes in with a great commentary and the jokes and the comic relief, and thank God for her. And it also called her a major influencer in the Beverly Hills franchise and the pop community. I don't know why, but it did. And she comes out with the article. Then this guy, you know, the message that he sent her was a DM, and it said, Lisa, quit spreading your lies about me or I will be forced to expose you. That's what it said. So we know, and Lisa posted this guy's message with his phone number, okay? Posted it with his whole phone number. So really, he starts getting calls and text messages. I went on his Instagram. There's not a lot of action. There's not very many posts even from 2022. And he hadn't posted in a while, but he was obviously keeping everyone up to date with this whole Lisa Rinna thing on his story. And so he said that she posted it, deleted it, reposted it, and then acted like that was an accident. And somewhere along the lines, she ended up posting it basically 2 times for people to get his phone number. So he posted her phone number back, I guess, is allegedly what he did. You know, he's threatening to take her to court. He called her an old dinosaur, like, how come this old 70-year-old lady is like trying to hate on me, and that she was like spreading lies about him. So something must have happened whenever production got the Real Housewives from Beverly Hills, whether it was a couple of them, whether it was Lisa Rinna and they paid her money on the side. I mean, it could be part of her contract that she has to coach new up and coming reality stars for Bravo. Who knows? She knows the ins and outs, and she's, you know, the biggest hustler, the biggest villain out of all the franchises. So of course it would make sense that they would have her giving classes on how to be that way. Lisa knew what she was doing. Well, she's panicking. She is effing panicking. That's why so anyways, Patrick, he's posting on his story, he's showing us pages and pages of incoming calls and text messages from people. Some people were like texting him, you know, encouraging things and saying like, great job, what secrets do you have on her? And so, like I said, then she followed up with this post trying to get sympathy for grief, and it kind of opened up with like, have you ever, you know, been so down and out with grief that you've just, you know, had so much rage? And she's basically trying to start the narrative already that she was grieving, and that's why she acted the way that we're about to see her act, and for all of this nonsense regarding, you know, everything that's been happening, plus the whole Kathy Hilton. I mean, she's trying to take on, if you're going to take on Kathy Hilton, you're going to take on her kids, you're going to take on a lot of rich and powerful people if you mess with Kathy, and you do it to where everyone sees you messing with her. Everyone knows that you are the weak link. Now, I've told you guys, production's not happy. Just because execs are saying that they're going to cover up for Kathy does not mean that average production workers like you or I that work, you know, average 40-hour-a-week jobs don't know that this happened, and, you know, hear it, see it, whatever the case may be. And if they are offended by her racist or homophobic slurs, they don't want Bravo to cover that up either. So they're leaking it to the press, right? I'm sure Lisa Rinna knows. She's probably got people in every department at Bravo. Oh, she's playing the sympathy card, Chocolate. So, oh yeah, she's definitely playing the sympathy card. But I don't know if it's gonna work. I just don't know if it's gonna work. I had to stop following Rinna. I couldn't take her antics. I understand Groovy. Now, Kelly Dodd has graced us with her IG presence. If you guys haven't seen, there was a panel that came out about, I didn't follow them, I think it was the Christies. They were like a reality family that had a lot of kids, and they were religious. Well, it's come out that he was actually having an affair with his business partner. So Page 6 reported on it, and guess what Kelly Dodd did? She posted on there and said, Harry Hamlin is next. That's what Kelly Dodd posted on the Page 6 article about this other famous reality couple, and the husband was cheating with his male business partner. She said Harry Hamlin's next. So guess what Lisa did today? Lisa posted on her Instagram. She took a photo of herself and colored in like a fake beard all around and said, good morning to Kelly Dodd, only to Kelly Dodd, or something, you know, dumb like that, and posted it. I always knew he was gay. Alan, I mean, I don't even think he necessarily has to be gay. I definitely think that I think in Hollywood that it's very common for actors and actresses to like have these sexual appetites that never seem to be fulfilled. We hear about these sex parties, like that Tristan Thompson, you know, paid Blac Chyna like 10 grand just to go with him. You know, did they go into these like swinger settings, orgies, whatever you will. Like they have a lot of explicit things that happen in areas like that we don't even know about. So I don't know necessarily if men or women is his preference. I don't think he discriminates, but I definitely think that he is like hacked up in Canada, living the best life without Rinna, doing whatever the F Harry wants. And I think that like his payment for going along with her, and like, you know, if you notice, Harry will film one like scene per season. Ever since that whole thing came out when Kim Richards got pissed and said, let's talk about the husbands, Rinna was like, okay, y'all, you know, you guys want to keep up. Harry, you're going to have to film one scene a season, okay? We have to keep this persona up, because I feel like you know, to Lisa, it's important to keep up with Hollywood. It's important to keep up with the Joneses, to drive nice cars, have nice bags, have good contacts. I don't think any of that's really important to Harry. I think he's good as long as he's got money. He doesn't have to work. I'm very popular in Cleveland. We're here. He lived for the last 5 years. I have stores for days on him. No, Alan. We're like close to Cleveland. That's crazy. I want to know more about it. Find me on Instagram. I want to hear your stories. Can't imagine what it would be like married to Rinna. Exactly. So Harry's like, look, I don't, you know, I think that Harry and Lisa are still very old school. So to him, I do think that if they got divorced or it came out that he did have relationships with men, I think he would either think that his legacy that he's created would be tarnished or that he wouldn't find work anymore, but he doesn't find work anyways much. So we have all of that going on, and that's what I pretty much know about Lisa Rinna right now. And I'm just patiently watching her Instagram, hoping that she'll post something else. I've been stalking Patrick's IG to see if he's posted anything else, and I'm definitely keeping an eye on all of the blogs, because a lot of times you can see them pick up, you know, sometimes they'll like post something for like 2 minutes and then delete it, of course. So you gotta, you know, there are always people catching things. But yeah, it's so worth it, because like I feel like Lisa just posts it out of anger. Like she gets so mad and she posts it and then she deletes it. And allegedly all those Instagram posts that we saw prior were about Kathy. Harry getting his entire life at the Brokeback Mountain, Canada. I know, guys. And that's what I mean. Like, I think he's okay living in Canada, not being bothered, really doing whatever he wants to do, and he just want to make sure like the bills are paid. I don't think he's a fancy kind of guy. Every time I look at Lisa Rinna's, like when she does like her little dance videos, sometimes I think she's in Canada, and I pay attention always to like the background and the aesthetic, and like, because I've always been so impressed at how outdated and dirty that house looks. And like the dogs, you know, you gotta keep up on that stuff, and that it doesn't look like their carpet's been changed in a long time. And she's made comments about Harry not wanting to do any updates. He loves whatever you know, whatever aesthetic their home is. He allegedly loves it and refuses to let her update it, but I don't think that they have the money to update it. That's why they have 3 loans out on their home, and why it stays the same. And she just blames it on him being like old school, liking the style of the home, because he built it. That probably hasn't been updated since he built it. So whatever year he built it has not been updated. How did Erica get a nicer house than Lisa Rinna? Well, because Erica is renting her house. Is it true that a rat bit one of the women? Okay. G. Cellier. No, it's not true. It was originally started on Twitter. I just happened to follow this Twitter account the day that these people had kind of gotten together, and they were trying to say that the blind items that the Cocktails and Bravos posts are like bullshit, basically. So they started their own rumor and made it like, send it to either Bravos and Cocktails or one of those sites to see if it would get picked up. And it did. It did. And that was them proving their point that the blind items are fake and are not real. Now, what's important to know is that Hollywood Days and Nights they are like people that started the entire blind item world. But Bravos and Contacts and other reality sites don't just use Hollywood Days and Nights. They take, you know, tips that people might DM them, or if they have sources that tell them things, they'll put it together as a blind item and post it, and you don't necessarily know if it's like someone randomly that DM them, or if it's like actually from the Hollywood Days and Nights blind items. I didn't know that originally either. I thought all of the blind items they were posting were from the Hollywood Days and Nights website, but I found out that wasn't true. And I think it's okay to post things if people are sending you information and you have contacts, but I like the way that Dox'D account does it. Because they actually like show that it's a DM from somebody, and they'll make it anonymous, but they'll just post exactly what the person wrote instead of, rewriting it into some sort of a blind item, and people like think it's not even true. So these Twitterers basically got together, came up with this rumor about Lisa Rinna's house, because there was a post from, I don't even know, like 2012, 13, 14, where Harry had caught a rat or something, and Lisa put it on Instagram, and so that's what they took as the story, and then they changed it into Will Smith's ex-wife. And she was actually at dinner with 2 friends, and they were like laughing and asking her about if it was true, because it had spread that quickly from Twitter to Instagram to these reality accounts to these women that are actually friends with her, like saying, did this really happen? Did this really happen? And she was like, no, it definitely did not happen. So even they believed it. But like I said, it was the Twitterers trying to prove, you know, being hateful, saying that the blind items coming from Bravos and contacts aren't real blind items, or they're not true, or they're just fake, or they're just, you know, taking nothing and making it into a blind item if they don't have anything else to post, I guess, for the allegations. But yeah, that's what happened. It didn't actually happen. They were just, and that is what brought Lisa Rinna to post. She like made a comment, they'll have to drag Rinna out kicking and screaming. Absolutely, because it's her only check. It is her only check. She claims that the Rinna lipstick is making her money. I'm sure that it is. She's probably using the cheapest products, cheapest distributors possible, and she's even said herself that she's just selling it direct to consumers directly through her Instagram. And I almost think that she did that, one, because allegedly Erica gave her a big sum of money in cash as an investor, and 2, because she knew that time was running short on the Beverly Hills franchise, and also because she got the boot from QVC, because I thought was under the, like, I thought she was posting about Donald Trump, and they had like warned her a couple of times, and she kept posting about it. But that might not be true, but that was my understanding of what happened at QVC. Teddi Mellencamp, ugh, she's at it again, guys. You're not gonna believe what she said, seriously. She's claiming on her 2 and a T podcast that when she was casted for the Real Housewives, that they told her that she could work for Real Housewives of Orange County or Beverly Hills, that she could pick which franchise, because she had a house in the Orange County. They have a house on the beach, and then their house in the Valley, which is not Beverly Hills. Can somebody burgle Reynolds' house so they can upgrade the interior stuff for her house? It's like a mess. It's bad. It looks like it stinks. I don't think that Rinna probably has cleaning ladies. She probably can't afford them, you know. I mean, you see like Kyle's cleaning ladies in the back. We know she has a lot of dogs, which is fine, but we have seen a lot of people talking smack about the dogs and the dinner party, and how the dog took that steak right off Lisa Rinna's plate. And some people are saying that Lisa Rinna did it on purpose because she doesn't really like to, you know, eat a lot in front of people, or to show that she's not eating. So she put the steak on there and she set the plate there on purpose. The Valley is the total opposite of Beverly Hills. It is, Alan. It is like status even. The Beverly Hills are like in the hills, so it's very beautiful. You have very beautiful views. You guys saw Teddi Mellencamp's house, and Kyle had a really beautiful house too. Her old house was like in Beverly Hills, like in the, you know, the dog saved her was about type what you said. Yeah, she didn't want to eat, so she just like set the plate there knowing that the dog would probably come take that steak, and then she just ate the rest of whatever was on her plate. And people were commenting about how bad behaved Kyle's dogs were. I hate Kyle's new house. It seems like it was a downgrade. It was some famous family. I want to say that she said it was like the first family of Hollywood, or the first family of Beverly Hills. It has to be the first family of Hollywood. They were like big producers or something, and they actually had the house physically moved to its new location. And that's one of the things she really loved about it. I mean, right? You guys know who her interior decorator is, right? Come on, I know you guys have to know who Kyle's interior decorator is. The really corrupt Faye Resnick. So I think that's sometimes why we get a bad vibe of Kyle's house, because the interior does not match the exterior at all. There's like leopard print on the steps, and like pink neon signs when you walk in, with a black and white carpet with like brown cheetah print. Like, hey, get your life together. Like, are you doing that on purpose to Kyle? Seriously, are you telling her that that's cute? Yeah, Faye's her interior designer. I don't even know if she's really, she probably has some kind of training in it, I would say, or she's just picked up clout and status along the way, you know, since she wrote that book on her best friend's murder, like 2 months afterwards. Why is Faye correct? Oh, I'll tell you her story. Okay. She was very good friends with Nicole Brown Simpson. So it was Faye and the Jenner. She was a Kardashian then, Kris Kardashian, and Nicole. And I don't think Kathy ran with them as much. She was like more with Rick and traveling, but like Kris and Nicole and Faye, they would like jog together and go to yoga together and vacation together. Now, one thing to know about Faye is Faye liked to do a lot of skiing, if you know what I'm talking about, a lot of drinking, and she liked to go to the pharmacy a lot because she would have to go to the pharmacy to go to sleep after she would, you know, be up skiing all day or afternoon or whatever the case was, which I think it's really crazy that she would be so hyped up on like alcohol and things and like be such good friends with Kris and Kathy, who we've heard the allegations about how she likes to party, and you know, Nicole. So it's like, were they all partying together? Were they like, I don't know, were they staying skinny like a different way than just jogging and eating right? I don't know. But so anyways, Faye is morally corrupt because she was very good friends with Nicole, and when Nicole was brutally murdered, allegedly by O.J. Simpson, Faye wrote a tell-all book within 3 months of Nicole's murder. Now, Nicole has a sister who has like advocated the entire time, and she did not want Faye to come out with that book. She said it would be hard on her parents. They had just lost their daughter. Nicole had 2 kids at the time, and they just did not want, obviously they didn't want Faye Resnick, who's high on pharmaceuticals and all sorts of different antics. Raphael pointed out how Diana Jenkins was breaking up line. I can't say it because I'll get demonetized. Yes, yes, we just talked about that before I had to cut it short. Yes, she had something in her hand, and she was definitely, it looked like a comfortable motion for her. Why does Diana lick her lips a lot? Almost like a lizard, expecting her to catch a fly. What's the worst thing you know? Okay, she licks her lips because she was best friends with Kim Kardashian, and if you guys ever watch Kim Kardashian, sorry, I came outside because I thought it would be nice. Didn't you Playboy too? Alan, you're right. Yeah, she did do Playboy. That's right, she did. I wonder if that was before or after Nicole. I bet it was after. So she licks her lips a lot because she's best friends with Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian licks her lips all the time. If you notice that, it's kind of weird. And the worst thing I know about her, I don't even feel comfortable saying it, but I will direct you to the Hollywood Days and Nights blind item that was identified as Diana Jenkins. It was actually so controversial that after it was posted, they were like trying to dox the hell out of the guy in charge of the Hollywood Days and Nights blind item. He's been no one's known who he is his entire career. It was originally like 3 guys. They were friends. It was just an outlet for them. They've tried to say it was a bunch of different people. But anyways, after this blind item that he wrote about Diana Jenkins, who he later identified as Diana Jenkins, it caused a lot of controversy because it is that dark. It's not a little bit of fraud. It's not getting an extra mortgage on your house. It's not lying about your taxes. It's not about scamming old people for subscriptions to things that don't exist, okay? It's worse than all of that. It's worse than taking your sister's house. Okay, it is. It's worse than taking your sister's house. It's pretty much, probably, is the story still up about her and the kids? Is that the Diana steals kids from Haiti? Garcelle should hate her to the core. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I don't know. I think that maybe it's so common in Hollywood that they have somehow programmed themselves to look past it to do business. I don't really know. I don't know why she would go on this show. I don't know why she would do it. Number one, if you wanted to be a reality TV star, why didn't you just do Keeping Up with the Kardashians? You were with Kim all the time anyways. Larsa did it. It helped give her clout. That's exactly why I think it's crazy she's on the show, knowing how big of a scandal this could be. That's what the Clinton Foundation does. I know, it's so sad. There's allegedly, this is in the blind item too. This is what you guys have to pick up on. There is I don't even know what you would want to say. There's an alleged victim in the blind item that is a young woman from Hollywood that has spent a lot of time with Diana, and they list her name and they kind of make the implication that it's kind of like a Maxwell case, like when Maxwell, you know, was recruiting and but also like grooming. Because they say a lot of times like the victim becomes the abuser, yet Diana is very connected to the Clintons. Yes, she is. And she posted on her Instagram not that long ago, I want to say like 5 days ago maybe. It's actually, I think, the president or the like retired president of Bosnia, speaking about all the wonderful work that Diana does for the children. He says that in like the first 60 seconds of the video, which I don't even know why she would have. I don't know why he would come on and like be co-signing for her. I think that's strange. Kind of like how Elton John was co-signing for her, which I felt like was strange too. Like, yeah, yes, Chocolate, go check out her IG. It's like not even that old, like maybe a week old. He's like some political person in or about that area. She has strong ties to Bosnia. I don't know why. She like bailed out their president. There's like, I don't know how all of that works, but something happened and she had to put up a lot of money for a really big political person in Bosnia. I don't know if they have a president for say, but whoever runs the country was in trouble and she had to put up a lot of money for him. And that ties back in, like I said, to the blind item. And all you guys got to do, just like Google Hollywood Days and Nights and put her name in and it will pull it up. I just don't feel comfortable saying that type of stuff because it's pretty deep and it's dark, and it's always better for you guys to find those things yourself because you know, people aren't going to believe, you know, you should always believe what people tell you, basically. Don't believe what I tell you. Like, go read that yourself and form that opinion yourself, because it makes you ask yourself, why would Bravo want to affiliate themselves with someone that something like that could come out about? Sutton will figure out things about Diana, probably already has. Groovy, for sure. That's the thing. I have been watching Kim Kardashian for 20 years, pre-Kanye, you know, her wedding, Chris Humphries, and I never knew she had this friend. I didn't even hear about her until it started unraveling with the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and she was named as a cast member. And then I realized that when they filmed their Hulu, it wasn't even Hulu, it was like their last season with E, like after the pandemic, they went to this house in Malibu. It was like their summer house. And Kim says one of her really rich friends lent it to her and their family for 3 months for the summer. And it was actually Diana Jenkins' house. Sutton better be careful. Diana will try to ruin her life if she tries to expose her. Yeah, like that's somebody she would probably want to hire security for, is Diana, not Erica. Like Diana has ties and Erica knows that. And that's why I think she's like, that's why there's something unsettling about Diana's aurora on screen. I agree with you. I agree. And that's why I'm like, I'm looking at Erica like, you've been in Hollywood for 20 years too. So if I know about her, then all of you ladies definitely know about her. And you probably know way more than we know. And you're looking at her like, you want her to buy you this and buy you that? Like, I don't know. I just didn't like that. I just felt like it like gave you like a creepy feeling. Erica is up Sheets Creek. She can keep up with Diana, but Sutton is not made for that lifestyle. I think Erica was like Googling. You can tell Erica was excited to meet her. Yeah, like she was like Googling at her, like almost, I don't even want to say flirtatiously, if you will. I mean, like, I don't know if she was giving her the eye. Erica was like, adopt me now. Like, as like her sexual companion. I don't know. Like, Yeah, it's not, the blind item is bad, guys. And I can't remember the girl's name. She's listed in there. It's like a younger girl. And there's also this Twitter account that this dude, I don't know, I just follow him because he does have some good info sometimes, but he has problems with her because of things that he's like posted. Maybe she's auditioning to be her show. G Sawyer. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I always said when the blind item came out about the West Coast housewife sleeping with another West Coast husband, I was like, I feel like Erica is disgusting and like PK is nasty like that too. So that's why I kind of thought that I could see them hooking up because, you know, they both have a little bit of streets in them. Like, I think that they could talk to each other through the eyes. Remember when she didn't wear any underwear around him? So where does Diana get all this money? Well, Alan, that would be in the blind item, probably. Because sometimes, you know, when you do things that you could get in a lot of trouble for, I can see Diana, Erica, people looking up, yeah. If you're doing, Erica will do something strange for some change. Chocolate, that's what I'm talking about. That's the look she was giving her. I'm going to read up on her after this live. Selling young, angel eyes. She said it, I don't want to say it out loud. Yeah. That's basically where they think that that's how she has so much money. Daily Mail also did a article on her a couple of years ago. If you're digging on it, you might as well read it. No, I think it's Mauricio and Dorit because I noticed one time they went off together during a dinner party. I could see that. I definitely could see that. I think that Dorit, I had heard though that she was like banging the Gucci CEO. She's evil and wicked. Angel Eyes says Diana is evil and wicked. She's 100% right. She is. She's a dangerous woman. That's why whenever she had her team go ahead of her, and she was like, the one lady was like, oh, Diana doesn't like to have her back to any windows. Like, really? Doesn't that seem like a little bit too cautious for just like a hardworking white rich lady? Call me crazy. I don't know. I'm just saying. Right? Like, what are you hiding from? Yeah, that didn't make any sense to me. And that, like I said, the Bosnian politician that's on her IG, go watch his video. Go first check out the Hollywood Days and Nights blind item that she is named in. Then check out the Daily Mail, which isn't even half as bad as the blind item. She has so many skeletons in the closet, so I have no idea why she would go on reality TV other than being narcissistic. I think so too, because that's what, if you wanted to be on TV, you could have been on Kim's reality show, unless if you didn't want to be Kim's plus one. So the Beverly Hills was like the next best thing, because look at Larsa. Erica trying to get a wet piece of change. How far ice cream has fallen. That's hilarious. But look at Larsa. Larsa was filming with Kim. You know, they were always in the press. We were always seeing photos of them out of the nightclubs, you know, blase. Larsa had never, well, she did one episode of The Real Housewives of Miami a long time ago. I think it was like the first season. I don't even think she was really friends with Kim that much then. And then we never saw her again until she showed up on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Kim would never sacrifice her brand for Diana. Her and Chris is too smart. They know what Diana is into. I know, but they filmed at her house. They said that that's who it was. Please hit the like button. Thank you so much, Angel Eyes. I appreciate that. Yeah, guys, please hit the like button. It really helps my videos. Make sure you subscribe. Turn your notifications on. Alan busted me for, I was gonna do a live last day at like 2:30 and then I canceled it, but he saw the notifications. I was like, I was a little tipsy and I really wanted to talk about Rihanna, but I didn't know what I might say, so I canceled it. Yeah, oh, so the house, the Malibu house, they filmed it for Keeping Up with the Kardashians. So Diana, you know, we see the relationship between, Alan was so ready for my drunk live. That's so funny. We see the relationship between Kim and Chris, right? Or not Kim and Chris, Kim and Diana. Because Diana says that this will be the Kardashian. It might be. Because, gosh, Angel Eyes, you're so funny that you say that, because we're seeing Kanye kind of out that a little bit, right? Because we're seeing Kim hang out with Hillary Clinton. And what did Alan say? I think it was Alan. What did he say about the Clintons and Haisha and all of the allegations that we hear about the Clintons? Same sort of allegations as Diana. Well, now guess Kim's dating Pete Davidson, and Pete, I feel like it's strange Diana has never filmed with him. She would have a major catch to the show. I feel like there's got to be a reason. I agree with you, unless if her ego is too big. It could be that. But Pete Davidson loves Hillary Clinton so much, he has her tattooed on his arm. And Hillary and Kim, they had a meeting together like 6 months ago. It was in public. And then now we saw Kim go to the correspondence dinner. And I think she's met up with Hillary Clinton, I don't even know, like a month or so ago. I saw a real quick clip of it. And Kanye West was like, I mean, this isn't my, I'm not going to talk politics with you guys. Kim giving the vibe that she grooms her children. I hope not, my God. Kanye West said this, I'm not saying politics, yay or nay, either way, but he said, how the F is Kim fighting the judicial system and fighting to get black people out of prison, and then she's gonna hang out with Hillary, who's basically been helping put them away, the Clinton administration, the war on drugs, and so on and so forth. So he's like, it doesn't really make sense, Kim, that you're over here fighting and doing prison reform and working on these cases to get people out of prison, and then you're gonna go hang out with Hillary Clinton, who puts people in prison. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Then you got Skeet in the middle, who's rocking his tattoo of Hillary Clinton. Kanye West did not like that. He did not like that, guys. Did you guys see how upset he got about that? He don't want his kids around that. Would anyone want their kids around it? What's the Housewives IG again? Oh crap, I'm gonna have to put it in my notes for you, Chocolate. I think you can just, it's like a weird one. Does anyone know that they can pull it up and just message it in the chat for her? It doesn't sound like what would go with her, and the trafficking is tied to it. Yeah. Oh, so the Malibu house. The Malibu house, they filmed in it. Allegedly, so Diana has some sort of drink, some sort of health drink, and that's how she claims to be making all of her money. It's so sickening, Angel Eyes. It is so sickening, and people just don't want to believe it. You know, I think people are going to work, taking care of their own families, and they just don't even realize the evil that goes on. So she's allegedly making these drinks. She was infamous for her super predator statement years ago. Really? I didn't know that, Alan. I'll have to look into that. The house in Malibu that they filmed in, supposedly Diana makes these drinks. They're like health food drinks. That's how she keeps up her millions. At least a couple of years ago, that's what they were saying when they filmed in the house. Now, Diana ended up selling the home, and there was another neighbor, a drink. Okay, everyone research adrenochrome. That's funny, okay. That's not funny, but yeah, it's some kind of health, like, you know, extreme health food drink that supposedly made her millions. I didn't know, I don't know anyone that's made, you know, like Red Bull. I don't really know of a lot of people that make millions in the sports drink industry, but if Diana says she did, then maybe she did. But she was so concerned about selling her Malibu home, her neighbor had these privacy bushes that were blocking like the view, the panoramic view, and the neighbor didn't want to cut them down. So Diana just had her own people go cut them down. And when security got called, she was not happy, and she allegedly had like a serious Karen moment. Angel Eye said Nero something. I want to say it's like JR. I don't know if I think it starts with a J. You should be able to Google it real quick though. Just put Diana Jenkins IG handle in and it should come right out. It was proven not to do anything for your neurons in your brain. Was it, Angel Eyes? I didn't know that. Huh, maybe that's why she's not talking about it, because if she had a product of some sort, I mean, wouldn't she be pushing it on the housewives? Isn't that what they all do? They put in their contracts, they pay Bravo 3%, and then they walk around in MV t-shirts. Or what was Bethany's skinny girl? She always had skinny girl tees, and you know, I mean, I think that's great. You would want to market yourself if you're on a national television show. If you really do have this, you know, amazing product, why wouldn't you market it? Why wouldn't it be in your contract? Why aren't we hearing you talk about it? That doesn't make any sense to me. But she was allegedly like it's obvious something is going on in these women's lives that they want to shove Dorit's traumatic robbery in our face. I don't know. They are all involved in this fake storyline, using it as a crutch. I'm more worried about what is going to come out with this whole gun and firearm situation with Dorit and the robbery, because if it comes out that Bravo knew Dorit was, so if it comes out that there wasn't a gun involved and that Dorit reported it to the police as if there was no gun involved, then we're gonna have a really big problem on our hands. Because thanks, Chocolate, I'm glad you got it. Because either that means Bravo knew she was lying about the gun and let her lie about it, or they were encouraging it. We're still waiting on the official police report, because that isn't something that's like, just public record. You actually have to write the LAPD and, give them a reason that you need it. It's not just a court doc that you can pull up yet, because no one's been charged criminally. There's no charges, nothing's written up, no indictments. It's just basically a police report as you called the police on your neighbor. Same type of situation. It's just going to be the officer's account, statements from the alleged victims. So like I said, if Dorit says that she thinks they had a gun, then that would obviously be okay. That sounds right. She thinks they had a gun, she's not sure. I still 150% think the LAPD would have included it in one out of their 2 public reports that's on their website. If there's an armed robbery, which means someone actually has a firearm, it's a serious thing. Dorit Smollett got the robbers to leave her phone at the gate. Someone commented on YouTube and said they called 911 for her. They said, if you look back at the video, when the robber leaves the phone at the gate, it's like flashing, like the whole phone, like the light is flashing. I don't think Dorit would be acting as if what happened had actually happened to her. I know. I don't know. I mean, that's why I was like, I really was on the bandwagon. Okay, Dorit maybe didn't know. PK set this all up. Have any of you guys seen Man on Fire? Remember how the dad sets up a fake kidnapping for her daughter for the, money, and the daughter, almost end up dying. But that's, sometimes people set up these types of things for insurance money. So if PK did put this together, then okay, I could see how Dorit didn't know that, and she would, her emotions and her response would seem 100% normal. But it doesn't make any sense that the LAPD did not mention a gun, they did not mention a firearm, they did not mention that the victim, thinks there was a gun in either 2. And these aren't just short statements by the chief of police. If they lied about this, they'll head to jail after involving the police in this. You can get arrested for false information on a crime. Well, Michael, that's what I'm saying is if there was no gun, and in order to avoid getting in trouble, Dorit gave the police an accurate account of what happened. She wouldn't be lying to the police. She would be lying on TV. And we all know that all of these women, when they go to court, thank you, okay. Thank you. Yeah, guys, hit the like button. I'm giving you some tea. But yeah, like if she didn't lie to the police, then it wouldn't be like officially, you can't get in trouble for just lying on TV. You can get in trouble if the police are called to your home and you lie about what happened. So if the police were called and there was no gun, she would tell the police what happened, and she wouldn't say anything about a gun. They paid off the Bellagio with that money. Yes, they did. But Bravo, that's what I'm saying. Does Bravo have, Bravos have attorneys. They have attorneys. Okay, we're about to see Sheree Whitfield on Real Housewives of Atlanta. She has the boyfriend. He just got out of prison. He's on house arrest. The girl's supposed to be taking a trip to like Philly or New York City, and they keep saying, Sheree, are you going to meet up with your boyfriend? She's like, he's on house arrest. He's got to get permission to go 100 miles, right? Dude did not get permission, okay? He couldn't get permission on his house arrest bracelet to leave his home to film with her. So when it came time, we hear, that he didn't show up to film or whatever. We're hearing bits and pieces of it from the press. We see her alone outside of a restaurant, allegedly waiting for him, and he doesn't show up. And they make it look like he just blows her off, right? Well, here, the parole board would not give him permission to go film, and he posted messages, or he said, production basically said, Don't worry about it. You know, we'll film it and we'll make it look like you guys were in your house. No one will know. If you want to leave on your house arrest bracelet, since your PO won't give you permission, you can just leave. Say you're at work, say you're putting applications in, say you're at an AA meeting, whatever you want to do. And then when we film it, we'll just make it look like we filmed it in your house so you don't get in trouble with your parole officer. And he was like, hell no. He was like, I just got out of prison. I just did like 7 years. You guys are not about to tell me just don't even worry about it and I'll just film and you'll make it look like it was from my house. Like, no, absolutely not. So obviously Bravo has their own attorneys, their own legal representation, legal advice, counselors, whatever. And maybe you can't get in trouble for that. So maybe they're like, okay, Dory, this happened to you, but you know what, we'll keep you full time and we'll give you another 20K, but we need you to really play this robbery story. We need you to come back, film right away. We're not going to give you no time off. We want to see all of the antics. We want to be first hand seeing everything that you're dealing with, and you're going to have to spiff it up. You know, we talked to so-and-so and we think it would be great if you mentioned that there was a gun involved. I mean, is that a possibility? Is that completely, I don't know. I mean, every time a Real Housewives is indicted, the Judices did it just as much as Jen Shaw did it. Sheree is thirsty. I still love her though, Chocolate. Don't you love her a little bit? She is thirsty, but I still love her. I don't like Drew though. I mean, I do like Drew, but I don't like Drew. And she had a live last week. Yeah, I recorded it. I actually forgot to tell you guys this. I wanted to tell you this. If you watch Real Housewives of Atlanta, you know all the drama going on with her and her husband and how she is a TV legend. She is. I can understand why some people hate her and some people love her, but she, you know, who gonna check me, boo? But anyways, Drew did this live and she was like in her house with like her people. It was dark outside. They're cooking tacos. She was like a special cook there who's, you know, because Sheree will do anything for that paycheck. Chocolate's like, I like her a little bit, not a lot. I ain't gonna say I like her a lot, just a little bit. It's okay. We're allowed to love and hate different women, right? That's like the beauty of the Real Housewives. We don't all have to love the same women. It's all about just chatting and sharing our perspectives and finding out who knows what. The win. Sorry, guys. Chateau, she can't pay. Sheree Chateau, she can't pay. Her basement looked good though. I wonder if she rented all that furniture, like she had it placed in there like that. Drew likes a rug. First of all, Drew is lovely, but her husband is definitely a dog. He is all over. Listen to how messed up this is. So, like they're filming in the kitchen. It's like a live. The chef's like cooking and talking about all the good stuff he's putting in the tacos. And so they start reading questions. Her house did, I can't lie, she did that. Yeah, her house does look good. So Drew and the kids and the chef and like, I don't know, aunties and uncles are in the background and they start reading people's questions and someone says, hey, Drew. Nope, she purchased all that furniture. That's what took so long. Yeah, Teresa, it looked great. Her basement did look like a bar, a full-on bar down there. It looked nice. Someone asked Drew where her husband was at and she said, oh, he's taking a nap. Yeah, he's taking a nap. He's had a long day. She changes the subject, right? I'm like, taking a nap? What time is it in Atlanta? Because it's like 9:30 here. And I'm like looking. I'm like, it's dark there. So Drew talking about her husband taking a nap and it was like dead ass dark outside. I was like, he would be in bed for the night, Drew, not taking a nap. It's 9 o'clock at night. Like you're cooking dinner. It's a late dinner, but it's dark out. You're telling me the man's taking a nap? I don't know. I just think that she... it's not, I don't know what's gonna happen. I feel like she's lying about this weight loss journey, product, face of, whatever the case may be. She's not selling it and it's making her look bad and people are gonna knock her for it online. They're gonna eat her up for real. They are. She does have a mortgage, so a few seasons of the show definitely helped her finish her home. I want to know why Andy allowed this soon-to-be convicted felon on the cast. She serves no purpose to the show, throwing Sutton, clearly not caring. Does not make me crack up that weight loss, and she's not a little... I even screenshot the photo that Bravo posted of like the before the 25 pounds that she says that she lost after the 25 pounds that she says she lost. Do you guys remember when she did like this weather for like a local weather station or something, and Kenya dragged her ass so bad, posted her on like Instagram or Twitter talking about how she needed to get a tummy tuck. She has a way that she stands that's unflattering. I know that was shady of Bravo. Wait, you know Ralph has cameras all through his house. I didn't know that, Chocolate, but that doesn't surprise me, because if he's cheating, then of course he's insecure that she's cheating. He wants to know what's going on. What her husband did is not her fault. We still don't even know what's actually true and not yet. About Drew's husband, I know. I feel bad for her. I do. I feel bad. Yes, please hit my like button. Thank you, Angel Eyes. I appreciate you. Reminding them to hit the like button. I feel bad for Drew too. I think he's a complete douchebag. People act like Erica has been living a lavish life for over 20 years. I don't know what's gonna happen to Erica. She's too old to find, she's not gonna find a sugar daddy. She's not gonna find a sugar daddy. She's in LA with some of the most beautiful people in the world. Whether it's real beauty or bot beauty, whatever, they're beautiful. They got nice boobs, nice ass, flat stomachs, blonde hair, you know, good, like, hello. Do you know where you are, Erica? And you're looking a little, Erica's looking rough. I don't like that hair where she said it last season. Yeah, I mean, she's basically she thinks that she's advertising herself, Chocolate, but really she's ruining the whole thing. She's ruining all of her chances. I'm sure Tom did not tell her all of his business affairs. He just proved the lifestyle. Oh yeah. I had heard that Tom actually met Erica, that Tom had this is good tea. Make sure you're listening. This is good tea right here. Tom had a undercover gentleman's club in LA. Erica's day is over. No sugar papas for her. Nope, for sure. So we hear about all these secret societies with, you know, rich people, Bohemian Grove, you know, all the alpha, whatever. So Tom allegedly had an exclusive gentleman's club. I don't know if you want to call him the Hugh Hefner of LA. I don't think it was that extreme, because I think that it was very elite and it was a small circle of them. But allegedly she danced and worked, you know, on the undercover. Erica will be in Dubai soon. But allegedly that's where they actually met, was she worked and danced. I think Eric can find a wealthy man, just not a sugar daddy. She might be able to. I mean, you know, I don't think anyone wishes ill. I think we would like to see a little bit more compassion for the, you know, the victims, because these victims, I mean, it is sad, because the Lioness aircraft, it had people from all over the world, right? So there were people from India, and there were people that were from very, well, she was a stripper in New York, I think. Yeah, she took us to the nightclub that she was a stripper at that's in New York, I think. And she wasn't the only one that worked there. Danielle worked there, and somebody else, I can't remember who, from the Housewives franchise. But this was like an undercover type deal, like, you know, that sort of thing, with just very, very elite men only. I think her lawyer told her not to speak on the victims much. I think so too. Melissa worked at Shots, I think. Allen, basement club. Yeah, something like that. Basement club, yeah. So I think that we would just, I guess the only way to really explain it is like 1,000 or like 20,000 here. Like, yeah, that's a lot of money to us, right? 20,000 is a lot of money to anybody, like, you know, just average folks like us. But like to someone in India, where like people are really starving to death, and they places that don't have running water, and like villages, and like don't have government systems set up for orphans, and they lost their parents, $1,000, 5,000, 20,000 is worth so much more to them. So it's just like kind of heartbreaking. Erica needs to worry about the victims and stop spending money. Yeah, it just sucks. It would be nice. I don't know what kind of legal, you know, representation or advice that she gets, but, you know, they did allegedly link this like $90,000 from a victim settlement that was directly paid to a jeweler for these diamond earrings that Erica's worn on the show, and she admitted that she had possession of, and Ronald Richards was reporting on this as well. And they had asked that Erica return the earrings because they wanted to sell them. I just wish fans could hold the other girls accountable to what their husbands do. Alan, 150% with you on this. I agree with you, because Erica's trying to bring the heat on the show because she needs to check more than she buys Sheree. That too, Teresa, for sure. Yeah, she doesn't, yeah. Her hair business, I don't think is doing that great. I'm sure it can't, you know, the more money, the merrier. Legal fees are crazy expensive. Her rent's $10,000 a month. I think like $11,000 actually. So yeah, I'm sure that she does need the money. She needs to keep the money coming. But I really think that I would love to talk about the other husbands and their like affairs, because I've talked about this before. When Kyle started, she shopped at Target, okay, and now her and Mauricio are worth somewhere between like 60 and 80 million dollars. Erica's been rich for over 20 years. People act like she knew everything her husband did. Absolutely, we don't know everything that our husbands do. I'm sure that she didn't, and I'm sure that he was well, we saw the way he spoke to her. I feel like if Tom was younger, people would blame him and not blame her. I think so too, Alan. I think because he started to spiral mentally right when all of that happened, it basically, because one, he probably was deteriorating. He's like 80 years old. And two, they were using that as like a way for him to kind of get out of the mess. Like, look, he's old, he's crazy, even though he's been doing it for 15 years. He's old, he's crazy, he didn't know what he was doing. He wanted to pay it back. He didn't mean to do it, whatever. So takes the blame off of Tom Girardi and his legacy as this wonderful attorney. I mean, guys, they made a whole movie, Aaron Brockovich, that's based on Tom's law firm before he made it big. It was just like him and another guy. So he started from the bottom. He did have a legacy. He did, you know, support politicians and judges and prosecutors and also the whole legal community in California. And that's why we run into the problem that if they put the blame on Tom Girardi, they're going to have a serious problem, because anyone that he gave money to that helped campaign and get them elected, especially when it comes to prosecutors and judges, people start filing appeals over that shit. But her defense behavior makes her appear guilty of knowing something. Absolutely. People also act like Erica has not given up. A lot of her whole life has changed, for sure. I have a feeling something is going on with Mauricio's business. I believe LP when she accused Kyle Mauricio of putting listings on Adrian's old house while being friendly with her in season 3. I agree with you 100%. That's what I was just getting to. Was that Kyle and Mauricio did not have that kind of money when they came on the show. Kyle shopped at Target. Yes, they lived in Beverly Hills in a couple $1 million house, but they didn't have Birkins like they have now, okay? They've literally, like, they're worth like somewhere between like 50 and 80 million dollars. Mauricio stole Rick clients. That's why they fell out. The agency is made up of the Hilton. Yeah, but they've had some bad business go down at the Hilton. They are at the agency. They had all of their agents walk out like a couple of years ago. All of them started from the bottom. Now we're here. Yep, nobody wants to bring up Mauricio, and that's what's crazy to me. I do. I want to bring up Mauricio. I always bring him up, especially over that Malibu house. They were getting sued over that. Oh my gosh, I got to go back to Teddi. Yes, over 30 agents left. See, that's because there was some crazy shit going on. It was the talk of the town, and we were supposed to see PK and Mauricio Mo link up and do that agency in London. Remember, they were gonna do a real estate show. They were going to take the agency to London and they were going to film it as reality TV. I think that Freddie, Reality Diamond, actually tried out. I think it's a serious investigation into Tom was allowed. The thread would quickly unravel and lots of big players would be exposed. Okay, you're exactly 100%. Actually, yeah, you're basically saying what I'm saying, but you're saying it better. A lot of things would start to come unravel, and you have people that are in prison and have spent years of their lives, and if they were to file appeal or file a new trial and then win, they're gonna sue the city of LA for every day and every hour that they are wrongfully incarcerated, and they're gonna win, and the city does not want that. They commit these deals even after Kim accused Kyle that she stole her mother's house from her, and Kim wasn't sober at the time. Drunk people don't lie. I think PK is starting to film already. Oh, yes, I remember that. I didn't know they were filming. They might be. I hadn't heard that. That's why I think Mo and PK were so close last season, and we saw that dinner with Kyle and Mauricio and PK and Dorit, and they were like laughing and making fun of Erica and Tom. I think that PK and Mauricio, I think that even though Mauricio comes off squeaky clean, he's really a PK on the inside. That's why they do business together, guys. That's why. The Malibu home, a similar situation happened. Judge here recently, 35 men were just released from jail to the case, yep, being retired. And the judge was fired and disbarred. But, yep, people, if you're a judge or you're a prosecutor, anything like that happens, the first thing your attorney is going to do is file an appeal or file for a new trial, and that costs money too. Even if they do a new trial and you're still found guilty, you got tons and tons and tons of taxpayer dollars money being used. It's been in the talk of the town here too. Wow. These lawyers, and you know, here's another thing we have to think about. The California bar didn't even disbar him when that first all happened. It was like 3 months later. I think that his disbarment, it wasn't even a permanent disbarment. It was like temporary at first, and it was because he had failed to pay the fee. I don't care what Erica says about the dinner scene. It was the funniest scene from the last season. I still laugh about it. Michael, that was hilarious. PK, sometimes he can be funny. Sometimes he misses the mark, but I will give them that sometimes he can be funny. Yeah, I don't know. So what I wanted to tell you guys was that Teddi was on 2 T's in a Pod, and she was talking about how when she was casted, first of all, you guys know that Tamara's coming back to the Real Housewives of the OC. Just so you know, Freddie confirmed it when we were talking live a couple of days ago, because I told you guys they changed the schedule. They're holding off on filming, and allegedly that's due to Tamara's schedule, right? And so we had heard that Teddi, you know, Tamara's friends with Teddi because she wants to be friends with Kyle, because Kyle knows all of production and everyone in LA, and Kyle's probably a really great connection to have. And we knew PK is going after something on social media. I actually did see that. I did see that, Barbara. Man, I don't know if he should really be doing all that. He'd be going so hard at people when they, like, I think that he gets after Sherelle's world and, who else? Dana Wilkie. I think he's like jumped on that bandwagon before, going after her too. So it's a little bit suspicious that I don't know why. I don't know. I just think that's to go hard at people so hard over that sort of thing. I'm not sure why you would do that, and why didn't you do that? I don't know why he's doing that. Mauricio and PK are definitely involved in something. That's what makes it so hypocritical about the whole Tom conversation. Yes, misavoidability is irrelevant to the franchise. Yes. I think Mauricio has really bad business dealings, and I often wonder if, you know, we didn't really know what transpired between Rick and Mauricio. Even really Kathy and Kyle probably don't know what transpired. We always heard on our end that they wouldn't make him a partner. Is that what he wanted to be, a partner, and Rick wouldn't make him a partner? Teddi is so irrelevant. Oh yeah, so Teddi starts talking about how when she got casted on the Real Housewives, they gave her a choice and said, Miss Mellencamp, since you are so rich and you own this house in Orange County, we're gonna give you the option. You can either be an Orange County housewife or you can be a Beverly Hills housewife. Which would you like to be? And so she chose Beverly Hills, and she says that production basically forced her to come on and be friends with Lisa Vanderpump. And she says it was like so uncomfortable because I don't drink tea. She's like, and we would have to go to high tea, and I don't drink tea. Whatever, Teddi. I don't know. Like, you probably should have went with the flow. I'm not sure. She's got so many problems. I don't think she's going to get recasted for any of them. And I don't even think Entertainment Tonight really wants to have her, you know, do any sort of commentary or interviews for them. They only do it if it's like a special Housewives event, and it's always a Beverly Hills Housewife event, which even makes me think even more that like, it's just Kyle getting her the jobs. That's why it's only in Beverly Hills. That's why it's only, you know, when it's something to do with the Real Housewives franchise, they like put her in hair and makeup and let her ask the women a couple of questions. And they're like, if this makes Kyle Richards happy, like, we'll let her do it. It's so funny. Someone on YouTube commented and told me that their daughter actually works in Palm Springs, and that she worked Kyle's opening that we saw in La Quinta, and that her daughter got more camera time than Teddi did. And I believe it. Teddi had dark hair, that cheetah print shirt on. And we didn't really even, I don't know, we might end up unfortunately seeing her in this episode, but I think production knows we're sick of seeing Teddi Mellencamp. Like, we don't want to see her even a little bit. Remember when she was in this scene from last year? She was only at one dinner, and she was talking about how, like, you know, she was sticking up for Erica, and it was just bullcrap because she really didn't have a, you know, dog in the fight. And it's so funny because in her podcast, she talks about how she really feels like she delivered and she got the job done because, you know, when something needs to be said and they only got 4 hours to do it, she's like the direct person that gets it done. I was like, oh, are you? Is that like from the Denise dinner? Whenever like, my favorite scene is when Teddi Mellencamp tells Denise that Brandy said that they had sex together. Like, she made, you know, like, you know, Brandy said that you guys didn't just kiss, you had sex. She like whispers the sex like your mother does type situation. She has no shame. She's drooling at the mouth to come back to it. It's bad. It's bad, Barbara. It's real bad. She's not even like, yeah, she just don't even have no shame anymore. Just none. No shame. And I think that her and Tamra, I don't even think they probably could enjoy each other's company that much. Tamra likes to work out, and so does Teddi. But Tamra is very laid back, and she likes to drink, and, you know, just not the same as Teddi, on a whole different type of level. But yeah, Teddi tried to say that basically production forced her to be friends with LVP, and that LVP wanted her to go to high tea, and she didn't even know what high tea was. And then she also posted, she's getting ballsy. You guys know that Teddi's, this was what else was scandalous about Teddi. First of all, Teddi went along with the whole Lucy Apple Goosey scam. She was plotting with LVP. She was taking her kids to dance, and the building like was next to the LVP dog, you know, the rescue place. So she would drop her kids off at dance, and she would go next door to LVP's dog rescue place and get with John, LVP's assistant, and plot and plan on Dory and this whole dog situation. Why was Teddi so connected if Denise and Brandy had sex? Like, why do you even care? I think it was like the whole lesbian thing for her. I think she just literally was like so, got so lost at the fact that they were like two women together, like that Denise would have an affair with a woman versus a man. Because if you guys watch, whenever Brandy first tells Teddi and Kyle, you know, I forget how, like, Brandy doesn't directly say they had sex, but she gives the implication that they hooked up. I think that's what she said. She's like, we hooked up. And immediately Teddi's like, what do you mean you hooked up? Like, more than kiss? And Brandy's like, yeah, more than kiss. Like, and she tells the whole story. So I feel like Teddi, did Brandy lie? Probably not. She was promised her position. She was promised a full-time role back in the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She was promised it. And after it didn't happen, she had her son go on Instagram. I don't know if it was live or her story or whatever. And he was like, I don't know, 12 or 13. And he calls out Andy Cohen and basically says, like, you said you were going to help us get out of this. I don't know if he meant their living conditions. Brandy is so funny, I can't lie, and I don't think she lied. I don't think she did either. I think she needed a paycheck, and so she was willing to film and say it, but I don't think she lied. And I think that what happened was her feelings probably got hurt, because I do think that Denise kind of has, like, I think she's like almost kind of like the man mentality in their relationship. Like, she would be like a hit it and quit it kind of guy, but in a female body. Wait, is Brandy broke? I don't think she has a lot. I mean, I don't think she really has a lot of an income. I think they were living like in a small house. I don't know where or what city, but yeah, she definitely had the son. he did a short clip. He calls out Andy Cohen and says, like, you know, you promised my mom you're going to help us get out of here. I think that was his exact words. It was actually super sad, and she got ate up alive by, you know, fans and viewers who thought that it was really terrible of her to have her son make a video calling Andy Cohen out. I didn't like that Brandy sold Denise out. I know, it was shitty. Like I said, I think that Denise was like the man, and it was like a hit it and quit it, and Brandy was like the female who got her feelings hurt. Like, she got hurt. Like, I think she liked Denise, liked Denise, and she thought that Denise liked her. And when Denise didn't, I think that Brandy was like, well, you know what, F it, you did me dirty, you kind of lied to me, and, you know, I guess I need the money anyways, and Bravo's telling me they'll give me my position back, and it's that or nothing, so I'm gonna do what I gotta do. And then however you want to handle it's how you want to handle it, I guess. That's probably what Brandy, you know, told her. I would think that, like, either, you know, Denise could admit it and go off of that storyline between her and her husband, or Denise could lie, or I don't think that she thought that Denise would quit, because that's what happened is Andy promised Brandy a full-time position in anticipation that Denise was going to finish out her contract. And when Denise didn't finish out her contract and she said, I'm not coming back, I'm not filming, there was no place for Brandy, right? Because if Denise didn't film, what's the drama going to be with Brandy? Who's she going to have drama with? So they didn't bring her on. And Denise said she did that on purpose. Now that I was remembering back, that she did that on purpose because she knew if she came back that they were going to bring Brandy on. So she's like, I'm not going to go through a whole season just to finish out my contract and give you a full-time spot so you can get a paycheck. That was the plan. That was Bravo's plan. They were going to bring Brandy back. Denise still had, I think, didn't she get a 3-year contract for like $3 million or $6 million or something like that? It was 3 years though, because she did 2. That was her second year, wasn't it? Might have been her second or third. She had 1 more year to go in the contract that she originally signed, and that was Bravo's plan. They were going to bring Brandy back. They brought her on, you know, paid her a little bit to come out with the story, and of course, I don't think she got as much as I don't think she got anything, actually. She says she didn't get anything. I don't know if she would be stupid enough to film and come out with this whole storyline and have not gotten anything for it, unless if she was so certain that she was going to come back that season. Wow, she broke a $3 million yeah, she was getting paid a lot of money, Alan. She was getting paid a lot of money. According to Kyle, Brandy always lies but tells the truth on Denise. Make it make sense. So she tries to destroy Denise's marriage. Brandy will sell her soul to be on the show. Yeah, Barbara. Yeah, I think so too. And Denise like knew that, and she was like, if I don't come back, then Brandy can't come back. So you know what? Deuces. And Brandy even says that. I think that when this transpired, if I remember correctly, Brandy was pissed about it. She had her son speak out about it. He did the video calling out Andy Cohen. And then she also stated, Housewives of Soren, you have more tea than most paid YouTubers. My official fave. Pleasure of you. Thank you so much, Jay Oliver. Will you guys hit the like button, please? Turn the subscription, or make sure you subscribe. Turn your notifications on. Telling you guys, I'm always giving you tea, and I still have a video to make. I just don't know why it takes me forever to get it uploaded to YouTube, so that's why I just started live streaming. And 4-year contract, thank you, Barbara. I knew one of you guys would know. I love all of my followers. You guys are just as good as I am, seriously. All of you guys know your stuff. Freddie too. Freddie, he knows his stuff. But yeah, so that's what happened, and Brandy knew that, so she was pissed, and she even said that, like, Denise knows that if she doesn't come back, there's no place for me, and this is bullshit, because I didn't even get paid when I came out last season. I just filmed for free as a friend, and the only reason I believe that is because Teddi Mellencamp also talked about how she wasn't going to film for Bravo for free. She wasn't going to film any freebies for Bravo. If they wanted her, they were going to pay her. The fact is, Brandy didn't have an actual relationship with any of the current cast members. She was essentially just being used. You're exactly right, Scorpio. If Denise didn't come back, there was no place for Brandy. She didn't have a relationship with any of the women, especially not anything that we had never seen before, because we had already seen Kyle and Brandy fight. You know, Kim's not in any kind of place to be on the show. I guess Kim and Brandy actively are not speaking. They haven't spoken in like a year. Who told us that? Kyle did. Kyle told us that on Watch What Happens Live, that Kim and Brandy weren't speaking anymore. But the funny thing was that Kim and Brandy speak all the time now. Kyle and Brandy speak now. Kim and Brandy were good friends. Now they have fallen out, but now Kyle gets to speak to Brandy more. It's just crazy. Kyle's got a rough road ahead of her if this all blows up with the Hiltons, I'm telling you. Why did Kim and Brandy fall out? I don't know. I think they lived close to each other, which probably meant that they would, I would assume, drink and hang out together. That would be my assumption. They probably had some kind of a fallout about something. Who even knows? Kyle is so fake. I know. She's a vile Kyle, right? Vile Kyle. People are sick of her too. Like I said, they I don't know what's gonna happen to this franchise. Like Bravo banks on Beverly Hills. You know, that's their baby. And they made Lisa Rinna mad. She said she was gonna burn the place down. She ain't lying. She is not lying, but she's getting scared. You can tell in her posts. She's getting scared. She's calling on the empathy now. She's calling on compassion. She wants people to know she's grieving, which is so funny because so was LVP with the death of her brother, the unexpected death of her brother. We were talking about this earlier. Now Kyle's had someone sadly close to her unalive themselves. Lisa's since lost her mother, and LVP is sitting back like, you know, maybe it would have, Kyle's a phony. Yeah, she's a phony. She sure is. She's the queen of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But the year before, remember when she said that nobody's the queen of the franchise? And then the next year, she calls herself a queen in her tagline. These people are crazy. We got to wrap this up, guys. I'm so glad we got to talk about all of this Lisa Rinna craziness. I have more coming, guys. There's so much going on in the Real Housewives. I can't even wait to talk to you guys about some of the other stuff that I know that's going on and some blind items. So I'm going to try to do a video and get that dropped tonight. I had something else I wanted to tell you. Oh, I'll include it on my video. But I hope you guys have a great day. Happy, what is today? Tuesday? Happy Tuesday. And make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, turn those notifications on. Love chatting with you guys. All the good tea today. Such good tea. Make sure you go and Google what I told you guys about Diana Jenkins and that Hollywood Days and Nights blind item. Thanks, Oliver. Love you too. Google the blind item, Hollywood Days and Nights blind item regarding Diana Jenkins. It's worth the read, okay? All right, guys, have a great night.